Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Friday, and it's a beautiful fall Friday here in Pagosa Springs. A little chill in the air. We are getting ready for this weekend. So, for those of you who don't know, this weekend is the Mountain Chili Cha Cha, which kind of culminates this cool weather and, of course, green chili, which we all love. And we are excited. We are now doing our show every other week, so the second and fourth Fridays of the month. So during that time, a lot of construction gets done. And so we have with us again this week Adair Christensen, who is going to tell us all the work that has been done in the past 2 weeks here. I see more concrete being poured, and I see lots of things happening. I see lots of pipes and a lot of things. So things are certainly moving, aren't they, Adair?
Yes, it takes a village. We have lots going on. Several different contractors out there. Some are focusing on the sidewalk, curb, and gutter to get that new beautiful sidewalk in along the road. Some of the contractors are still improving the utilities and installing new utilities for all things, including geothermal. That was a big task on this week and last week's work or task orders. So lots of different things going on. Great news between First and Third Street. We are almost 99% done with the concrete along that stretch. And we have some major concrete pours coming in the next 2 weeks. So we hope to get all the way from First to Fourth Street poured completely with concrete in the work zone. So you're going to see lots of progress happening, and you probably are going to see that today and tomorrow as well.
Yeah, well, I hear somebody left their footprints and it wasn't a human. So, we can't get the deer just to use the crosswalks. I can't believe that.
I know. CDOT is working on trying to train these pesky deer to stay out of the road, but sometimes it's out of our control. We did have some lovely deer hoofs in some of the freshly poured concrete 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And I hope we get to keep that. It adds character, but we do want to tell people we don't want human feet. That would mean we'd have to rip up that section and redo it. So stay out of the work zone, people. And for the deer, I don't know what to tell them.
So, as you said, some heavy concrete pouring. Adair, are any of our businesses is there any closures expected? And what about the intersections? Are they the ones that are closed now, will those remain in place? Or are we switching closures of intersections?
We're not switching closures of intersections quite yet. I know there's still some major utility work having to occur at Second and Fourth Streets. What you will see at Second Street here this next week is most likely some asphalt pouring if the weather is on our side. They're gonna not concrete, but pave asphalt up Second Street from Main Street. So that is in the plans for these coming weeks. That should be completed. And that
And that
also
is that the second street from the highway to Hermosa, or the highway to Lewis Street? Do you know?
Lewis. So it's not a
Okay.
very long stretch. But that work will be done. I think they're grading the subgrade now. And then there's also some excavation and work. I believe this is Fourth Street near Goodman's and Peak Deli. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are
Um,
correct.
okay, that intersection is still closed, but
Sure.
that has some scheduled paving and pouring coming in the next week or so. So hopefully after that, we can open those intersections back up and swap over to the every other intersections we
Okay.
talked about.
And do we have any idea when the disruption will happen in the Lewis Street area?
There might be some minor disruptions already happening there. I know at 4th and Lewis, they are trenching and installing conduit, and there's some utility work going on. And this is in advance of paving operations as well. So 4th and Lewis Street through the end of the month will have some disruptions.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Okay. What else do you have for us?
Still excavation work near the sculpture park near Lewis and Tennyson. This is for the geothermal utilities. There are some sidewalk detours. I don't know if you were down for the wine walk, how those detours were working out for you all.
They actually worked out pretty well. We had just over 150 people attend the wine walk this past Wednesday. So that was the last wine walk for the season. But stay tuned because I think we're going to do some fun stuff with the businesses during the month of December as we get ready for the holidays. So instead of wine, we may be having hot beverages or something. So we're working on that we'll be working on that with Main Street, and we want to keep the momentum going and help our businesses as much as we can. So
That's great. Some mulled wine would be awesome and get some Christmas shopping downtown. That's about it for the work going on. It's when I say major concrete pours, we're gonna have the big rigs back in there doing big run-throughs of concrete. That could cause some 15-minute delays and throughout the work zone, just as they're exiting and entering the actual work zone. So expect some 15-minute delays if you haven't already been stopped in those. And again, most of the delays that travelers may be seeing are for those emergency services. Our crews work very closely with the local police department and fire department to make sure emergency services can access businesses downtown and get through the work zone quickly. So when we stop traffic in both directions, a lot of times it is so we can get emergency services to people who need it in a quick manner.
okay, all right.
Um,
And what else is going on with CDOT? Because at the end of the show, I do have a shout out for you, but I'm going to hold it to the end of the show.
okay. Well, what else? The most exciting thing happening in the CDOT world, and which I'm on my way to see now, I'm going to head up to Wolf Creek. I'm leaving Durango. Is the colors. So fall colors are starting to change and starting to peak across the state in Southwest Colorado. And we know there are a lot of people, tourists, locals, everyone out and about wanting to see those beautiful leaves changing in our mountains, especially. Um, we don't get as much traffic as the I-70 corridor or the areas near Denver. When we talk about leaf changing up north, we talk about traffic jams. Down
Kenosha
here,
Pass.
yes. So I guess if you do plan on leaving Denver or going to Denver, maybe Kenosha Pass isn't the place you want to be if you're in a hurry.
Nope.
Um, but as far as down here, where we have less traffic, we still want people to be aware of vehicles traveling at lower speeds. There's always people slowing down to get those pictures. Um, Watching for vehicles pulling off the roadway unexpectedly or pulling out onto the road. There's just a lot more traffic and a lot more people trying to get those photos of fall leaves. So just be aware of traffic pulling on and off and driving slower. And then if you are the person wanting to take pictures, it's best to find a safe designated spot to pull off to. That's the safest thing to do. We want everyone to have fun, but be safe. If you're trying to cross the road, look both ways. Vehicles, watch out for pedestrians running across the road. So that is happening this week, next week, maybe the week after. Lots of, we call them fall leaf peepers here. So
Okay. Well, that is good to know, and it is always a concern. Um, I do want to add. I want to also just kind of jump back to our construction. I understand from the Main Street that they are working on that sidewalk area by the middle school, so that'll be
mhm.
very exciting as well to get that program completed. And that was in part funded through grant programs that the Main Street group got. And so congratulations to them as well. But, yesterday, Adair, I was at a meeting with Region 9 and we were doing what we call round robins. And Silverton was mentioning that they have a bunch of homes from Fading West, which is out of Buena Vista, coming. And I did not realize. And so all of us from Archuleta County said through construction. And I was just in awe of the coordination it is taking to get those modular homes from Buena Vista to Silverton and through our construction zone. And there was some other homes that came through and they actually had to bring them through at night. And I just really wanted to give a shout out to CDOT, for being part of that collaboration to get this housing into Silverton. And what a big production it is to move those oversized loads through a construction zone such as this.
Yes, we've been having conversations for a few months now with the company that's transporting these homes. I think the next batch there'll be about 18 um, tiny homes, I'd like to say prefab homes. And it's very exciting. Lots of different agencies involved, the construction zones they have to pass through, the state's freight permitting office, our CDOT engineers, local law enforcement, and of course the towns involved receiving the houses. And this is such exciting news. It's low income housing for isolated areas that don't have a lot of housing. So we're really excited to help. And yes, those mobile homes, I believe it will be October 6th, are going to be coming through Pagosa. And it will be in the evening hours. And there's some coordination that has to go on with our construction zone to make sure they can fit through there.
Okay.
I do know that one of our work zones on Cold Bank Pass actually has to move some barriers, give them a little bit more space to get through there. And there will be no road closures on Wolf Creek Pass or in Pagosa, but there will be some major 2-hour closures, maybe a few 2-hour closures on Coal Bank Pass, which is between Durango and Silverton. It's just too
Sure.
dangerous to try to work around traffic. So if you are caught in those delays, which we will get out to the public on our Southwest CDOT Facebook page here soon, if you're caught in those delays, take some time to look at the leaves and just know that they're for a good cause. We really want to get those homes to Silverton before the winter.
You bet.
Yeah.
And my rumor of the week is that construction will stop at the end of this month.
Wrong. So, based on the weather, I think construction is going to keep pushing forward. We are going to push forward as long as we can until the snow blankets the ground. You've seen it out there. They're not even letting a little rain get in the way. They've held up some tarps over the sidewalks to let them form in the rain. We know the community wants this project done and we know what we got to do. So we are going to work as much as we can until the winter weather hits.
All
So
right.
yeah, we may
Yeah.
be even
Thanks
out
for
there for the.
dispelling that rumor.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All
Well,
right. Well, that's it for us today. Anything else, Adair, that you want to mention before we head off the air?
that's it. I hope everyone has a safe and beautiful weekend out there, and I hope tons of people come to your chili cha-cha. That sounds awesome.
It will be. It's a great event. So thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please stay tuned with us now every second and fourth Friday. Again, with those 2-week interim weeks, so much gets done. So a lot of this now you can see if you come downtown. But as we mentioned, don't walk on the construction area. No footprints in the fresh concrete, or else it has to completely be redone. But thank you, everybody. And remember, we're going to keep working on this project, as Adair said, until the snow flies. So we're going to get it done. And thank you again to CDOT and WW Clyde for all the work that they're doing. Thank you, everybody. Have a great couple weeks.